So good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Donny Chain Gang with me, Matt Payne. We're live down here in the Full Speed Events studios, down in the old beer cellars. And today was one of those days when you're thankful that you have multiple internet lines with multiple connections, because our primary line, the workhorse that does all of the donkey work for the Chain Gang, was the one that decided today that at about 5:30, it was going to go up in smoke, which means that we've had a interesting few minutes just getting everything connected and back together again. However, we're back, we're here, and I get the easy bit because I'm going to get to talk about what's happening and all of the action. However, Russ is going to be on the start line, and I know Russ has also had some issues tonight. We're going to try and get hold of him during the course of the night. There's no guarantees that's going to happen, but hopefully we'll be able to do so with the lines that we have. We have multiple lines here, and that's one of the advantages of the DCG game. But it looks like on the other end of the phone line, the one and only, it is the bear. It's Russ Downing.
A up.
Yeah, A up, blooming heck. I tell you.
I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are, mate. I can't find you. I mean, it sounds like you've had a mare. I've had a mare. So
we are there. We are live, and there are people watching.
You are now. I've just found you.
We are there. Today's random title for the event, of course, which all the old folks will get if they work out with the band name.
What's it say? Where's the title?
Do you know, some days it doesn't work.
It is one of those. It is one of those days. I think I said on the chat here, my phone just decided to update at 10 minutes to go, and I was like, "You seem to be taking a bit of a while, Mr. Apple."
It could take a while. Well, tonight isn't going to take a while. We're on Neokyo. What I'm going to do, we'll let you dive onto the gang, Russ, and we'll tell everybody where we're heading, and then we'll come to you really, really early tonight because I think it's going to get a little bit interesting a little bit later.
Yeah, just scrolling through the names. There's some originals on here. Thwaites is on. Who else we got? Some good people. David Hopkinson not been on for a while. So yeah, some of the older renners, as they say in the old Belgium.
Definitely, and we've got a lot of the new youngsters as well, because we've got Tuesday's winner in here. Let's see how he goes. Got Ryan Williams in. We haven't seen Ryan for a while, although he's one of our youngsters. Got a lot of the AEO squad as well. Joe Jarvis, Chloe diving on, and of course Chris Ball, teammate from Bolsover, is our red beacon and looks great in red, and we'll try and catch up with him somewhere online. So we'll let you do the typing and the riding, and hopefully we'll come to you randomly, probably about lap 4 or something.
Yeah, as I heard you mention the kids there. Don't mention them to me. They give me too much pain on this platform. They just ride away uphill, don't they? They're too.
Well, there's still hills tonight, so let's see how that rolls out.
I know, yeah. That's why I'm worried. Just why I said don't mention them. I don't want to think about them.
We'll try to avoid them. Let's see how long we can go before that happens. Not long. Cheers, Russ. We'll catch you soon.
Cheers, mate.
So great to catch up with Russ. Let's dive into the map. We are in Neokyo. We are in the Mercury Islands. It's a crit course, a leading of 0.3k, 12 full laps at 3.9 kilometres. We finish at the virtual lap banner at 47.5k. And we warm down to the blue banner. There's not one of those tonight, which means it's going to be really testing our riders out as they head out. Don't forget, of course, we are also going to be heading around the circuit with our beacons. Our yellow beacon is Russ. Our red beacon at the back, sweeping everybody up, is going to be Chris Ball from the Bolsover District Cycling Club. Got to remember, though, the key thing, once everybody gets up and rolling, and I think we've got almost everybody out. The last one on the road, Rich Orrell, making his way in. Hopefully we've got Matt on our lap counter with us. 12 laps, key number 47.5 will be the last lap, which means you're on your last lap when you get to the distance of 43.6. So 43.6. That is when you're going to be in there. Now, let's show you the profile, because this isn't your traditional crit course. It's not flat. It's not your usual easy roll round and then sprint at the end, because we have 2 hills. We're going to join the circuit at the top of the course. We drop down and we go around the circuit in an anti-clockwise direction. We come up the left-hand side of the circuit is the section through the gardens. Really, really tough. Gradual drag into the castle at the top. Then we drop back down out the fort, and then come back out the park, and then go into the flatlands, through the start line. Then we go up onto the climb, and we go onto the back of the circuit. And you see there are 2 climbs at the 1K and the 1.5K in through the circuit from the official lap start time. That is where things will get very, very interesting indeed, because that is where we are going to be seeing riders who are on the limit go out. Now, the gang needs to get itself together quick on this course. It is a lumpy course. A quick refresher, remember, once you get over the 43.6, you're onto your last lap. It's 47.5 for the end. But key here is to make sure you know exactly where you are when you get in and through the line, because we are going to be finishing on 12 laps, and it will go straight in and through because we are on a lapped route. So let's see how we go on. Let's dive in with the Donny Chain Gang live here on the Down in Cycling YouTube channel. So as you can see, our riders just making the way down the circuit, making the way in and through. Should be a 30-minute late join in theory for everybody on this, but it is a crit, and therefore there are different rules. There should be lap counters go round as well, counting down for our riders as they go through. But as you can see, the gang already heading down in and through the centre of town. So it looks very, very busy. We're just going to take a little bit of a hunt at the circuit, because we are just keeping the check. Looks like Stefano Borelli is in here as well. So we have got a lap counter actually volunteering from the back. So that is Miss Cookie is not on the bike at the moment. Wish Miss Cookie well, but not on the bike at the moment. So going to be just making sure she's on lap counting duties. That will help when we tell you where we've gone through the lap line now. It looks like Alistair Cootie just tucked on the back of the group at the moment. The Chef Rick rider just holding station on that yellow jersey. The gang just easing itself together in these first few K. Remember, this is all about making sure that we get in and through the line together until we get to that go, go, go. When we get to the go, 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 then there are no holds bars. It is all riders for themselves at the moment. That gang just getting itself together as we make our way through this really rich and intense circuit. Very, very interesting to watch this unfold. I was on a recce earlier on in the week, went out around the circuit actually on Monday and got a recce of this, and in fact on Tuesday's ride. So this should be really, really interesting to see how this unfolds as it goes on, because it is really, really pushing the limits. Now, as you'll see, our riders have position in the group, which does mean there is no getting away from the fact if you're at the front of the group pushing on. It's going to tell you that there are no excuses and nowhere to hide. Now let's roll our way down through the group. Just watching Mr. Kirkham here, just jumping in. Hopefully he's going to be blatted straight into the gang as there's a late join. So hopefully he's going to be quickly in to the group. Just keeping an eye on the back of that bunch at the moment. If you don't get joined into the middle of the bunch, always place to jump out, jump back in once again. So just about to make our way around the turns and bring ourselves in to the garden. So take the right hand turn, going to take the turn over the bridge, and then we're going to go up into the climb. So here we go. Into the gardens we go. Onto the paving slabs. Just start watching Jamie Harper here. Mr. Kirkham, you need to jump out of the gang, jump back in again. Same for Mr. Scriven and Taylor. So here we go, just going over the cobbles at the moment. This group all together, you can see the top of the corner of your screen, the map just in on that circuit. We're starting to weave our way through, and we're going up on to this slight drag very shortly. Here we go, 4%, 6%. It just kicks in as you come up into towards the centre of the centre of the park. And then it is going to drop out as we go out the other side, and that is when the group is likely to open up and spread out. So it's all about staying in, staying close, and keeping it all time. This is not the easiest crit course by any stretch of the imagination, and it is one that will definitely test everyone. So Mr. Taylor, jump out, jump back in, it's going to be key. You can just see our rudders on the way through. Currently on the descent, making the way in around those turns, just riding in with our red beacon just alongside Colin Bell there in the blue and yellow. Jamie Harper tucked in at the back of the group. Just watching everyone making the way in and along. Very quick tonight already. That pace really, really hot. And that is definitely going to see riders in trouble. If the gap goes, then it's going to open big style. Great to see Chris Ball really jumping in and making the most of having the red beacon. He's gone for the red and black dish, red and black jersey, red and black Pinarello. Absolutely class stuff when it comes to the red beacon duties. That looks brilliant. So Dean Taylor out of action, I think, because of the computer she's got at the moment. We're just riding in with our red beacon at the moment as we go down through the down streets, down through downtown. Just weaving our way through the course. Actually, just have a defined route through here on the game on Zwift. So making the way in and through. So just going in through the finish line. That's the light blue banner before the sprint marker. So making the way through, so it is 11 to go as we came through that time. So just controlling the back of the bunch as we go through past the stalls at the moment. So just rolling in with Mike Killingsworth here, just at the back of the park, making our way out and around this circuit. We're now onto the far side of the circuit. We'll pull some stats, pull the map up, and you can just see our riders at the moment. On a slight descent, this will be really interesting. So make the way in and through as the bunches start to split out to a break, just where people end up. So it looks like we've got Tom Knight on board tonight as well. So Tom, one of our real fast riders on the chain gang. Dave Fulton Lewis from Ashfield on again. One of those people we won't mention. One of our youngsters, Stacey Freer, back in with us. Chris Idale, of course, from Felicity Tom Knight from Halo, of course, Stefano Borelli from Nonas. So Isaac Howell making no more on here. Some play from the Aeonian Racer team. Looks like George Cooper on board as well, so George tucked in with the gang as well, and George in the group. So just keeping a check on our last man, or trying to. Always entertaining. Back into the park again. So Russ already baiting people with the when shall we go discovery. So just coming in, we're just at 6.8k on the clock at 11 minutes in. I'm liking the how about Never from Mark Chamberlain for when should we go? Very entertaining. Friday 30 can do it in there. Interesting to see just where we're ending up. It's going to be a quick one, as we said. Now, I got Tracy, Chloe, Daisy Freer, Ruth Taylor, and Joe Jarvis all on. Tracy the Terminator from DCG, currently with the fastest time through there. But this is really our group times going through. Josh Mayland from Halo Wheels. Going through, just have Charlie Babbitt back on board as well. So just ticking away in, looks like real fast. I'm just drifting off the back of the group a little. Rob, of course, one of our super fast people on the way through. Yes, it's not a race, just often turns into it, but it has to be said. So the gang are pushing away. That is actually why we don't have the section on there. So. Why we don't call it a race, it isn't a race, it's not just about the position. If we actually do keep positions on permanently and we put it on super power, what we actually find is that everybody goes from the gun, nobody plays the game, and things get entertaining. So by not having positions, it keeps the workout. If you're that bothered, carry it back on the YouTube channel, you'll be able to work out from there. Some people are that fastidious, stroke dedicated. Now Sonia Inslee just took off the back of the group here, so Sonia late joining, just trying to squeeze on. Looks like Chris Ball just dropping back to give a hand to Sonia to get back on. To have Sonia from the Bolsover and District squad jumping in. Just into gear again, so we'll see if we can get back in. Sonia just jumping in. Sonia 2 was Kilo, communicated already, getting the word out there. So it may well be we're going to listen, as the saying goes, a few riders not on Zwift Power. Mr. Lindley, you need to listen. The reason it's not on Zwift Power is very simple, because it turns into a race, which it isn't. If you want to race, there are lots of races. So you wouldn't bother changing. Right, coming in to our line, just riding in with George Cooper. This is our lap as we count them down on the way through, waiting for the message board to come up. Somebody's bound to tell us exactly how many laps we've done. I think it's 10 to go at the time. Yes, Mr. Dunn, 10 to go. There we go. Thank you very much, Matt. Our official lap scorer, doing an amazing job. He's our official lap scorer for a reason. This is the only one of us basically off-ball was almost simultaneously. So just running in with Chris Seidel, those going to call supporters of the DCG gang, and riding well his way through recovering from COVID. So looks like Chris tucked in, just seeing Chris board, just off the back, and just looks like Rush Street distance from the group, just go down past Disco Street. Chris just easy enough for us, putting him back on again. Just seeing Sonia Inslee and Chris just tried to squeeze their way up to the gang. So it looks like Sonia just distance from that group at 2.5 walls per kilo at the moment. Chris Ballsy, Chris looks like Sonia jumping in now. Sonia's gone back in again. Chris is currently at 14.6, so our red beacon really pushing on to get back in and now with the gang. So I think tech issues just drifting the bike round the corner there. Sonia's avatar clearly been watching too much Fast and Furious, just sweeping the bike round that corner. So whilst the gang are really busy rolling their way around this circuit repeated times, we're going to try and get a hold of Russ, if for no other reason, to ask him quite why we're in Neokyo, because of course Russ choosing all of our routes for the last month. Evening Russ, welcome back. I hope all the tech's working a bit better now, mine certainly seems to be. If we can, why Neokyo Crit Circuit? It's not been the one that's been our default, which has been the Dolphin in Crit City, but something a little different maybe.
I just thought, you know, with it being dark and dingy outside, let's have a bit of a bike ride through the the Blackpool Arcade or whatever it is, you know, a bit of colour. And yeah, it's not easy around here. We've done a couple of rides around here, so yeah, I thought. Yeah, let's throw one in the mix.
It's definitely not easy. We've got a couple of drags on the back of the circuit, and then we've got the section through the park and through the gardens where we've got that little sort of slabbed, almost paved climb that we go up. And of course the lap line is in between two sprint lines, so it is quite confusing, and it really is almost claustrophobic, isn't it, because of the amount of detail and how compressed everything is around you as you ride.
That's a crit for you though, isn't it? You know, a crit, what they have on an old airfield, something it's like, that's not a crit. You know, the Tour Series crits, if you blink, you don't know where you are in the bike race. So yeah, it's very, very good fun around here, and you know, hopefully we've got the tech sorted, and we have got positioning numbers on the top. You know, I spoke to James earlier. You know, there's some reason why we didn't have them before. There was something we couldn't do with it or something, but James has resolved it and got some positioning numbers on. A bit of a gift, I think, for the last month to put a bit of spice into it.
Well, it is quite handy, I think, for our riders that they know where they are, and there's now really is no excuse for not thinking that you're up at the front, because you're going to know, you're going to be able to see your numbers right in front of you that you are at the front of the group. So I think one of the ways that people were pleading ignorance and not knowing where they were in the bunch has gone. But of course, we do have to remind people, it isn't a race, it's there as a ramp workout. We set it up as a race, which we could do. We all know what will happen. Someone will go from the word the moment that the flag drops out the pens.
Yeah, and that'd be no fun, would it? There'd be no banter, there'd be no chatting about what offers and deals we've got on the table, and helping each other, generally helping each other out. But you know, well, it's what's good for us. You know, mine's saying there's 78 plus more in the group, and there's actually 90 online, so it does need a bit better indicator of actually how many's on, because you know, with Zwift moving around a lot. But yeah, it's good fun. I hope everyone likes it, and yeah, if not, we'll take it off. But I think it's gone down well.
Yep, I think it's going to be one of the new things, because you know, I got lots of ideas for next year already, but I think we'll be giving ourselves a little bit of a break before we head to Donners to sit down and chew over the plans for the forthcoming year, I'm guessing. But I gotta say, we've got some really interesting routes coming up in the next 3 weeks as well. I quite liked not having to or not having any routes to choose. It was quite nice to sit back, but it is one of the good things, isn't it, about the gang, that we do always try. We've got so many different routes now because we've 2 years now.
Yeah, you know, we've got some that just, you know, we don't even ever go to, because we know it'd just make a mess of the gang, and you know. But it's like we say, wherever we go, everyone loves it. Take them to the road to the sky, they all love it. But it's good, you know, you've designed some months or some weeks, and then you know, a bit of a breather and get on with things, and then I take over. And you know, it's so easy to just go to stuff that we go to each week, but mixing it up's quite good. So some of these routes in this last month we haven't been to in a while, but they are some good favourites. So you know, it allows people to just, you know, relax and get on with what's going on. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it now. Yeah, sleep's a bit of an issue, but we'll get around that.
Yeah, that's what Grand Tour Coffee's for, says the man who blew the coffee machine apart trying to make quadruple double espressos. So that kind of went a bit pear-shaped, but there you go. So we've been through our banner, through the blue banner, and that is something people need to be aware of, don't they? It is that we finish on the blue lap banner, not on any of the green sprint banners.
Yeah, you know, we've said it probably a couple of times now, so yes, it's blue. The easiest way to maybe look at it is look at those little blocks on the top of the screen. As soon as that turns to another number, you know you're on the line. So pay attention. You'll be right. Matt Nunn's probably got your back because he's a great timekeeper, lapboard reader.
Yep.
But he was late tonight, so something's gone wrong with his timekeeping.
Yeah, he can be as late as he wants, as long as he can count backwards from 10 or 12, which is where
Exactly.
I can't even tell you how many laps we're on now. So Matt, no doubt, will be updating us. But yeah, it's already winding up, so going to be interesting to see how we go. And Matt Nunn just saying he was stuck in traffic, that old chestnut. So here we go. Quick question from Dale Williams for you, Russ. So do we finish on lap 11 of the 12 or on the final lap with no warm down?
How would you answer that, Matt?
I'll just go for the final one. Everyone can stay in the game and warm down after. It makes a change. We haven't done it. Why not? We haven't done that for a long time, and it is traditional on the crits to finish on the last lap, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's how it actually works. We have played around in the past and panicked on that thing, but yeah, it does sort of give you a bit of time. I think last time we came to something like this, we were playing around moving it to green banner to whatever because the timings were all wrong. So
yeah.
No, it'll be finish line on the 12th.
Yep.
Is where we'll finish, and if we all stay together, that's good. We've got some great plans for the last two gangs of the month. You know, we're really going to extend the warm down so people can regroup and have a virtual beer together or whatever we're going to do for them last sort of 10 minutes of those Tuesday and Thursday rides. So. Yeah, look out for that.
Yeah,
I've just seen Brett Doherty's on again, you know, Dowdry.
Excellent.
And great to see him on board. You know, he's been smashing it. You know, always knew he'd be up for the challenger. Yeah, what he's got to come, and it's great to see. You know, he had a horrendous freak accident, having to lose his leg, but. What's not Brett? You know, he's unbelievable. You know, so
he is. He's
chapeau
really,
Brett from everybody.
Yeah, very impressive indeed. Good to see him with us, and no doubt we'll see him on to the end of the gang. End of the gang, confirmed by Russ as the very end of the last lap. And the eagle eye will notice that actually this is the first time we're in Neokyo Crit City with laps rather than distance, which is why we know that we can get finished bang on the line rather than having to have a mad panic between Russ and me and the WhatsApp going mad in the distance. So Russ, I'm going to leave you alone now for the rest of the ride until we get over the line, because with 14.5k in, we're probably going to need to concentrate a little bit here.
Yeah, Jimmy's just rang me from the bar in the Isle of Man with all his mates and said, "Come on, pull your finger out." It's looking a bit steady up there, so.
That's sure easy for him to say. So let's see that he's earned a beer or two though after standing in. So enjoy, Jimmy.
Yeah, enjoy, Jimmy, and yeah, thanks for your help. You deserve a beer on the Isle of Man. So cheers, mate. See you next week. Don't get too drunk.
And on that, we'll leave him to it. Great to catch up with Russ there, and we are going to. Go across, and you can just see our beacon on the back there. Just got Mark Tickle behind, just tucked on that same lap. So Mark just pushing on to that red beacon. The bus has formed early. We thought it would do tonight because it's a small circuit, because riders get broken away, and because the draft is so important. And looks like Sonia, Chris, and Tickers. Now, our three riders need to get that group together. If they get it back in, they will get it back together again. Then they should be able to get some draft advantage. So Mr. Tickers, as well as Chris Ball and Sonia Inslee in there. Now, let's take a little bit of a run up the road to Charlie Babbitt. Good to have Charlie back on the gang here, tucked at the back of the gang. So just pushing his way in to the back of that bunch. So that group just coming back together again. Good to see we've got Stefano in here. Stefano in his traditional high-vis kit on that very tasteful Pinarello. I quite like the bright yellow. That would actually match the Full Speed Events van quite nicely. Not sure if I had the money to buy a Pinarello. I'd be buying one in to match my van. It might have to be a more stage colour, let's say. Now, Mr. Robertson in here, Mr. Rose now, new rider to the chain gang, seems to be acquitting himself well at the moment. Not a new rider to the Zwift, as you can tell by the kit on the bike, but first chain gang, so good to have him on board. So looks like at the moment, and he's holding his own more than comfortably, so good to have him in here, working nicely at the moment in with that gang as we come in and around. So the riders go in and through, and you're just seeing PBs on the alley sprint times there as we go through the pace, just steadily getting quicker and quicker as we work our way in and through. Rob Varty in here, Chris Iredale, Joe Jarvis. The Aeonian squad had a great night at the racing on Tuesday night. I know they were racing the WRTL out on Zwift, and the gang doing an absolute flyer. And our yellow beacon from the WOW DCG, although recovering from COVID, rode round on orders of the coaching stuff at Downing Cycling, and was under orders to take it steady, which she actually managed to do, which makes it quite a change, and came through, and the points put them into second place. It would have been, without running round, it would have been sixth place. So great to see that the Aeonian squad go from strength to strength, and big supporters, not just of the WOW DCG, but of the Donny chain gang as well. Joe Jarvis, of course, moving into that squad and a regular on the chain gang. Joe, very, very quick, and make sure you give them a follow. Just seeing a teammate just going in and through that distinctive kit. It's the same in real life. So if you do see somebody riding in and around the Eckington or sort of Derbyshire, Sheffield area out on the roads of France very shortly as well, then you're likely to see Emma actually out on the bike in that case. Very nice indeed. So it looks like Russ getting dropped off the back at the moment. I think that's either lack of sleep or lack of paying attention, or maybe it's just too busy having to keep up with everybody on the chat. Now, Beacon's constantly getting bombarded by messages independently of the message board as well as on the message board. Now, looks like Chris and Mark just took to the back. Sonia pushing to try and get into the gap. Mr. Knight at the moment, distance from the group. He's off the back here, and that's not like Tom. He's one of our real fast riders. Tom Knight, no doubt, going to be in action for shortly. Not quite sure whether he's riding the National Mountain Bike Series this weekend. If you are, mate, good luck. I'd like to say I'll be thinking of you. I won't. I've got a different gig somewhere else. So I'll be kind of a little busy at the weekend. So bringing all of the action from a e-cycling race series over the weekends. That's going to be most weekends, in fact, for the year coming up. Got a few in real life kids as well, and of course going to be out and about on the bike, so you'll see us there now. The main group just ticking along, 25 mile an hour, 40 kph. We're just in with Mr. Hudson. This is our winner from Tuesday on the hills. Can he repeat that on the flatlands? The youngster working well on those climbs. In the meantime, the gang on the way in through the gardens. So the pace just steady away, coming into 13.5k. I think it's going to be 18.5k. So just doing with a late joiner there. 18.8k, 30 minutes of riding. So just coming up to that 30-minute mark. The gang sat in nicely. It's very quiet at the moment on the message board, which is not a bad thing. So just riding in with Brett at the moment. So good to have you back on the gang, Brett. Brett, a regular on the Donny chain gang. Brett suffering a real unusual accident, a major incident, and Brett recovering from that and very quickly on to fundraising. A real character and an unstoppable force, and amazing to have him back on the chain gang. Welcome back, buddy. It's great to see you back on here, and hopefully at some point we'll get to grab a coffee out on the bike in real life sometime soon. So on to the boards, onto the slabs, coming in and through. That pace picks up as you come out through the walls and start dropping down. And you can see that pace picking up to about 45 kph. Beefy from Cycle Waste tucked in here. Tracy in there. Carl Kopinski in. Henry Fuller's in there. Paul Mallin in. Nick McDermott. Mr. Forrester tucked in. Dale Williams doing the breadcrumbs call just to get the group on. And Mr. Thorpe against Daisy Freer, Jamie Harper, Crusader. A number of riders just dropped off the back. So Tom Knight just going on to the group, which is why I think we've seen Chris Iredale just dropping back. We're just going to let this reset itself a little bit here. Let's get the helicopter just up and above. So Tom Knight just squeezing his way through. I think Russ, Daisy and co just in here. Daisy in that maroon burgundy jersey just at the back. Daisy gets some aero wheels on that bike, kidder, and it's going to be much easier. This course is really flat, and if you're a lighter rider, as some of our riders are, people like Harry and some of our youngsters, really light, the flat fast sections are actually where our riders will struggle. So disc wheels, aero wheel if you've got them, and of course make sure that you've got that power and that pace to stay in the group. But it could be that Daisy's very comfy on those sections and wants that to be able to go climb, or the draggy sections, in which case it's on there. Or of course those could well have changed, and actually what we're seeing is the avatar in the old format, because if you change on the line it won't always change over for the graphics for everybody else on the game, and could well be still showing us the wheels she was climbing on, but it's clearly not having a problem. 35.75 the fastest female time through the sprint there. Now, Carl Kopinski just squeezing alongside Craig Ginther in that Downey Cycling Coast jersey, just pushing themselves up into the back of the group. This is where it pays to sit around that yellow beacon. We're on this drag at the back of the circuit before this left-hand turn, and this is where it is really tough stuff. So this is where we've got to get in through and take in those left-hand turns, and then we start to sweep back down again, minus 4% at the moment. So Russ and the gang now are making the way down, just seeing the gaps opening out of the back of this group a little bit. Our Red Beacon, Sonia Ainsley down, just tucked in. Looks like Mark Ticker's in here. Good to have Mark with us. Mark, of course, one of our regulars on the chain gang, and winner of lots of kits. So Chris being told his legs are Sonia's legs are mush. I think there's a few people in trouble after last night's racing. So Karl Kabinski dropped off the back. Looks like Rob Taylor just trying to push in to the back of the group. Ted just easing his legs off, so Ted will be spinning his legs down. Good to have Ted with us. Just heading off now. Ted, of course, one of our really experienced riders on Zwift. Experienced ride leader as well. Taylor goes through, setting a new PB, just chasing on to the back of the bunch. So body's starting to be jettisoned out the back, but currently gone quite a long way into this ride. 22.5, nearly 23k. We've got 35.3 on the 35.4, 35.48, 35.49. So heading to that 36-minute marker. Starting to see a few power-ups starting to come in. Rob Taylor had a dropout, so having to squeeze back in from that dropout. The helicopter up overhead at the moment, just still watching those riders coming around the side. The speed will pick up, and that pace will get pretty frantic pretty quickly. So just a quick reminder of the rider distance at the moment. Just make sure you keep your eyes on the ticker at the top of the screen as we head back in live on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel here. Just watching our riders make the way through Neokyo on the crit course here. The yellow beacon, well, that's Russ Downing just in charge, making sure everybody is following, playing the game. We're just going to see our riders appear from behind the buildings, hopefully, as they come out that pack, just going over the bridge at the moment. And as our helicopter drops down, looks like a few people just starting to be a distance on the way through. And once again, we've just gone through that lap banner downtown. Those gaps will continue to open. This is going to be a very, very quickly indeed. So this is going to be interesting to see just how fast this picks up the pace. So another rider just coming out. So Simon Runnett having a pop an emergency gel, not surprised. You can see the pace is picking up as we see increasing numbers of riders having to use power-ups on and getting numbers getting faster and faster, getting quicker times through. Good to see they've got Mark Thwaites in with us, Mark in the orange there. Mark, of course, very fast rider, and had the pleasure of watching both Scott and Mark racing on the round grass track. One of my organising debuts, has to be said, certainly in terms of track racing. Now Colin Bell looks like he is now going to be heading for that bus. Beefy Colin, one of the real characters of the chain gang. And you know that so not fast cyclist indeed, very fast cyclist. So good to have Colin in with us. Takeaways, of course, the shot US up, and great to see Colin on the gang again. And make sure you give him a follow. Some great stuff on the Facebook page. It's great to see Colin back down riding now. Russ just tucked on the back. So Tom Lindley did 700 watts for 30 seconds yesterday, just saying. Mr. Lindley, I can do well over 1,000 watts for 5 seconds comfortably at the moment, even being a fat old gimmer. You pick that pace up some. I won't even tell you what my record is on Swift. It's ridiculous. Unfortunately, set about 5 years ago. Lovely Dale Williams is almost there. So, just watching our riders push on. Hauser just tugs in at the back. The riders now onto this little bit of draggy section. It feels a lot harder than 0%. So this bunch steadily whittling down at the moment. See Mr. Wilson in here. Been tucked in. You can see Mr. Booth in here as well, one of our real regulars, super fast. Good to see Colin just messaging me, in fact, as he just went off the back, that stick a fork in him, he's done. Meanwhile, I'm also in love with the comments about certain people doing their 2,000 watts kicking up from the start line on the chain gang. Exactly what you're not meant to do. Brilliant. Love the banter on the chain gang. One of the good things about the chain gang. So back in and on to the climb. Are we going to see a few more bodies? You can just see those gaps opening at the back of this bunch at the minute. Let's get that drone cam up over the top. I think you're just going to see a few people having to push in at the back here. Jamie Harper squeezing on at the back as well. It is definitely getting a little bit quicker at the back of this group. There's a few people just needing to squeeze in. It levels out and then very quickly turns downhill as we come out from the screen, just going through the centre of the forest, and it is really just now Jimmy just giving people a heads up. He says get ready. That's always an entertaining moment. So Jimmy currently watching, and Jimmy on, of course, the Wolf, a man known for his very varied and entertaining moments of when he says those magic 3 words that I am not going to utter until they come up on your screen. So bodies now are starting to disappear out of the back of the group. Just starting to see the pressure continuing to take its toll. The pace up building at 27.5 kilometres, 43 minutes riding almost now. So, minor technical issue, because all of a sudden everybody has decided that they're going to squeeze on, and now Russ is actually out the back. So here we go, in and through the line. That's 5 laps to go, 5 laps 3.9. So 5 laps to go. So Russ holding the pace, getting dropped off the back by the group as he weaves his way in through the streets here. We're just right down on Russ's wheel, just on that camera with the motorbike with the camera hung off the side of it. Not sure it's a Media Moto's bike. Media Moto's bikes, of course. Jason Jenkins and all the gang out and around the country, out around the world with the coverage, and through they go now. Back out onto the circuit, our riders go all the way across the road at the moment, and again just seeing another body, I think, just disappearing off the back of that group. Russ tucked into the middle. So as we go on to this climb up to that left-hand sweeping bend, the gaps have opened up again, and more riders are being shed out the back of this group each time it goes up that drag. The back of the circuit really is taking its toll. That pack really has whittled down. Originally nice people already starting off, and well and truly spread out now. Chris Paul, our Red Beacon, doing an amazing job at the back. Lots of communication from him. Great to see lots of our Red Beacons looking after people, encouraging them, bringing them on. Amazing role done by all of our volunteers who stepped up into that role. If you want to be on there, well, all of the Red Beacons roles are filled to the end of April. We'll be opening that up at the back end of the summer for the first month. We're back in September. Remember, April, the last month of the Donny Chain Gang online after a solid 2 years on our way through to this point. And we're then going to be taking a break over the summer before we come back in September, October, November, December, January, February, March and April again for a straight 8-month block right the way through. Don't forget, of course, you can make sure that you know exactly what's going on. Make sure you join the DCG gang. The DCG gang keeps the show on the road, keeps the multiple internet lines running, pays for this phenomenal electricity bill in the studio when we're turn everything on and fire everything up, and of course it is how we look after all our riders. It's how we keep the whole show on the road and the wheels rolling on Swift. Lots of time in putting the whole lot together and doing an amazing job, the DCG gang. So thank you everybody who's been a member so far. Without you there would be no Donny Chain Gang. It's that straightforward. Now, Vin Donahue, a man who's never short words, just saying it's all gone quiet. That's because everybody's breathing through most of the available options at the moment. So over the bridge we go. The run into the Little Spring begins in the park at the moment, in the gardens. However, totally irrelevant to us on the Chain Gang. What it does tell us is just how much faster everybody goes each time round. Now the go has gone. Russ has hit the button. This is it. This is when it's all going to get interesting. Watch the shape of the bunch from our helicopter as the pressure goes on. It's gone from being a blob. It's now an arrowhead at the front. And at the moment it is continuing up this slope to squeeze riders out of the back. This is really quick. You can just see the riders going in to the centre there. We're still on the climb. It's 4% at the moment, and look at the damage being done behind here as there are bodies are being left, and once those gaps open it's almost impossible to get back as we drop down out here. We're on to the descent very shortly as soon as we come out from around the side of the pagoda and the temples, and drop down onto the far side of the course, coming out through the walls underneath the archway and the gateway. We now start to head out, and I think Colin is getting a ringside seat as they come absolutely steaming around them at the moment. And you can see at the moment that leading group of about 40 to 45 riders just trying to get in to the gang. It is a very tough stuff here. We're just riding in with Russ. You can start to see those names appear on the riders now as we move down in, and you can just see the gaps have opened. The riders are spread out all the way around the circuit. We've got lapped riders now on the way in, now coming in towards the line. This is our finish line. It is going to be confirmed by Matt Nunn as we go through if he's still got the strength to type simultaneously as riding. 4 laps to go. Russ is going to get the confirmation in quick. So 4 laps to go as our riders weave the way through. Matt Nunn's still got the energy to type. Matt, you're mental. I don't know how you do it. So Matt Nunn able to type on the way through, and Russ now squeezes on at the front here. So the bear is really fired up here. Looks like Genther's going across to him, and they're keeping the pressure on. The damage is done behind. The gas have gone, and looks like Genther's gone over the top. Well, you can see just how quick we're going because the sound from the blaster at the side of the road really is gone quickly as we go over here now. It is Thorpe leading this out. Varty goes up onto his heels. Hudson is tucked in here. Yes, the winner, from Tuesday. The first rider in and over the line for the men. Tracy Seeley being the first of our female riders over the line in the women's. Well, it's very interesting to see. He's got the pace and the path going. Is he going to make life hard really early on now? He's just going into this descent, and he's really squeezing the pressure down. The young rider from Matlock in the Peak District really putting the pressure on everyone behind now. Dale Williams, one of the men who would be a hot favourite for this, dependent on legs, of course. He's got the power. Has he got the time? And you can just see he's alongside Neil Morn from the Stellaton, And the Neil in the red and white, a rider who's got some serious pace and speed and power. Watch out for Ryan Williams, Mr. Booth, of course. Strong rider, Simon Booth. It's looking like he's on a bit of a mission today. So this group working well at the moment, and Nick McDermott just in the danger zone a little further back. We're just going to drop back a touch here to try and get to those riders who are maybe just hovering in the danger zone here. So Scriven is in, then it's Wilson just being distanced, then it's George Cooper with Keyworth in here, Forrester's in here, looks like Tracy Seeding's in, Baggs in here, Mr. Gale in this gang. Then a little further back is the group. This is Ferron, it's Holwell, it's Singleton, Thwaites, Johnson and Jarvis. So good to see Mr. Holwell tucked in here. Joe Jarvis, the A&E squad in there. A little further back, next group, and loving the fact we've got these small groups all forming around the riders, and this is what you want to do. You need bodies. If you haven't got bodies, you're in major trouble, because you're going to be distanced. Next group back, this looks like Chloe Gagan in here. So Chloe tucked into this group with Ruth Taylor. Probably going to be in action, I think, the National Mountain Bike this weekend, just at the front of this group, just moving away up. And you can just see here, I think we've got Bobby Mason in at the back. We have indeed in that blue and white on that orange Pinarello at the moment. So Dr. D has got the group here with Daisy Freer, Charlie Babbitt a little further back, but Lone Rider, Vin Donahoe, Dr. D in there, and looks like Brett in this pack as well. We're going to take a dive up to the front of the group if we can. Not the easiest thing to do on this course. At the moment, Booth is on the attack, and he's gone hard. He's gone off the front of the group. He's put the pressure on, and he's really ripping it up at the moment. So in that distinctive St Kilda Cycling Club kit, it is going to be Simon Booth, who is really just ripping this gang apart. He's put the pressure on. Booth is going to be taking a win on the chain gang or one of these days. We're expecting him to ride away from everybody. Really strong. A rider just not quite got the course yet to take the win over the top now. We're just watching. Jones goes over the top, so that is going to be Callum Jones. So it's Callum Jones over the top at the moment, gone in to the lead, just trying to open it up, but he's got company. He's got Russ up the road with him, and behind those riders are not far away. So Callum Jones and Russ Downing going. So none of our youngsters just out with the master. Who will it be? The apprentice or the master's going and through. At the moment it's Jones who is pushing at the minute. Now they're going to be coming up on our red beacon pretty quickly. They go through with 3 laps to go. Matt Nunn's in very fast there, so it's Russ. 3 seconds, that's pretty about how long they are. You just see our red beacon just being closed down here at the minute by this bunch. The gang is working well, but the red beacon is getting close down at a right old pace here. I think Sonia in as well, and this group is going to come through. You'll feel the wraps as they go through and past. So hang on to your hats if you're Chris or Sonia, you're watching live, because the gang is about to come past the leading the bunch. It is quick. Here they come up onto that red beacon, and through they go. Just see, just catching and dragging along the beacons. You go in and through, and now we're seeing another move up on the front here. Just seeing, we've got Mr. Saxton tucked in here, not doing too much work. He's definitely a rider who has spent a lot of time on the gang, knows how to ride the chain gang, doesn't expect too much energy too soon. Pearson is right in the mix here. He's got a real fast kick on him, and just jumping off the front of the group here. We're going to have to be a little careful trying to get back in with our leading rider. It should be Craig Genther if I'm not much mistaken. Here we go. Craig is the rider who's gone clear on the front. He's got Thorpe behind him. So Thorpe goes through, then over the top goes Williams. Now this would make a fantastic group of 3 riders. Are we going to see a breakaway taking this out here? So we have coming through Ryan Williams, Mark Thorpe and Craig Genther, and these 3 have got the firepower to go clear. They've got a good part of the circuit because we've got another drag kicking in at the moment. The speed though, 46 kph, it helps to be in the bunch. However, a group of 3 can work, and they could open a gap here behind Josh Mayland, starting to hit the panic button here. He's got 8.2, 8.3 or watts per kilo, but just seen from him. Tom Knight 9.4. Hudson's gone in the red as well. So has Varty. They all want to be in there, and this is doing some serious damage to the bunch. They can eliminate a few sprinters here if they can keep this going. Now Williams, Genther, Thorpe, Knight, Mayland, Varty going across. Hudson a little bit further back. He's going to make contact. So this is Tuesday's winner. He's at the back of that leading group as they come through. There, your leaders going through. Hudson's in the black. He goes through. The chase is on behind. Who has got the pace to bring them back? They've got off the front, and the gap is starting to open here. We're at a couple of seconds, and this is opening up. Remember, we are on our third to last lap. It will be the penultimate lap next time through the line, and then we'll be on one to go. It's ticking away really, really quickly, and this is a good sized group here. If we just take a jump up above them here, you can see if everybody works in here, they can really start to open up that gap. How far back is the beacon? Well, look at this. It's at 7 seconds, 8 seconds here. Nice move off the front. Can they make this stick? Come on, guys. Time to get that squeezed out. Don't mess about. Don't wait. This is the time to do it. Make it count. Onto the hill they go. This is some real good riding. This group has gone on the top, on the climb. Williams is putting the pressure on going up the hill. We've got some real quick riders in here. This is where they've got to work. They've got to work hard. The chase is coming. They're putting the pressure on, but if it goes in fits and starts, they're not going to get across because that's a good size gap. 7 seconds. Now you can see the panic is on in the bunch behind Lindley. Is going for it. Williams is going there, trying to get across. Booth is trying to go across, but it's smashing this group to pieces at the moment. So Williams, Downing, Lindley and Booth could make the junction. If these 4 get through, then the group behind, I don't think they're going to see them again. They really have put the pressure on. You can just see Peacock and co. Saxton, House, Taylor, McDermott, Bale in this group. It looks like this group is being distanced. That attack off the front has gone clear, and our leaders at the moment, they've got the gap. Second to chasing a group is still fractured. It's 4 riders trying to close down. There's 7 riders in the lead, so 7, then 4. Then what was left of the peloton coming behind. They need to get this together very, very quickly or get clear, because at the moment they're going to be expending energy. Williams is doing a ton of work on here. They really need to work together, though. They will get caught from behind. There's a lot of talent behind them, but that gap is still 6 seconds back to Lindley, who seems to be doing a lot of the work here. Williams is getting a free rider at the moment, so 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go here on the Donny Che Gang live on the Downing Cycling YouTube channel. This is group number 2. Group 1 is up the road. You can just see that yellow Tron bike just going underneath the arch. But Group 2 are in trouble here because the pack behind are coming, and it's all being left here to Lindy's doing a lot of this work here. The leaders, though, are continuing to push to less than 8k. Now, has that group been reabsorbed by the bunch? It looks like it's going to be. It has been. So the bunch is onto the heels of them, and Lindley's just dragging them all up now as Russ sits on the wheels, and that gap now has gone. So that gap is at 12 seconds, and the bunch has not worked together hard enough. They've pulled back the chasers, but this group can take this. Now is the time they've got to push. This is, there's no point saving it, no dress rehearsals, guys. This is when it's going to count. We're currently riding in with Thorpe. Thorpe in here. Man who's taken one of his first wins on the chain gang. He's on the heels of Craig Genther. Genther currently leading this out. The Downing cycling coach rider in the grey. We've got Ryan Williams, who's done so much of the work so far. Williams is in the blue camo jersey here, working really well. Tom Knight, class mountain biker, strong rider, rides for Halo, one of their ambassadors, one of our supporters on the Donny Chain Gang. 18 seconds the gap, they've got to keep working, they can't afford to relax just yet. Rob Barty in here, he's been second so many times, he's got to stay in with this, they've got to keep on pushing. Barty in here, Hudson, winner from Tuesday on the climb. Can he repeat that here today? They can't afford to think about it, otherwise they're going to get caught on the final run into the line. If they finesse, they'll end up doing a Pogacar and getting themselves in a real mess. They've got to keep pushing, and they've got to push all the way in. You cannot back off early. Anybody starts finessing, they are going to be in major trouble because they're going to get caught. But at the moment, these riders are riding strongly. Varty on the right-hand side of the bunch. At the moment, you've got Thorpe in there, just squeezing his way up on towards the front with Josh Mayland. Mayland, of course, the main man at Halo, our main contact when it comes to Halo wheels. He's in here. He's got a fellow ambassador in with him. We're going back to this chasing group behind now. We're going to have to get around the fold on the map before the time checks are accurate, but it's looking at around about 16 to 17 seconds at the moment. So this is a chasing group number 2, and at the moment the Sting has come out of this, and they are in trouble because the gap has got now. If anybody pushes here, they're not necessarily going to get across, but what they will do is burn a lot of energy prior to the leaders coming through. Now the leaders, let's have a look at those numbers. They're starting to drop. Will this give the impetus back across to the chasers behind? It's 18 seconds. Remember, when they get to the line, it's 1 to go. They cannot afford to let those numbers drop right down. They can see the riders behind them. They'll be able to see what numbers they're looking consistently at 5s and 6s behind. We've seen some 7s. However, the gap is behind them. If we just take a little bit of a look back, you can just see that yellow beacon group is coming. There's a lot of ground to cover, but there's still at least a lap, I think, and a quarter to go. We're now 42.2k. This is going to be really tight between these riders. So we've seen a breakaway go on the Crit for the first time, I think, in the Chain Gang's history. We've not seen a group like this go clear. And at the moment, they are working incredibly well. Craig Genter again putting the pressure on, making sure that they keep those gaps. It looks like it's gone over 20 seconds. We'll let that stabilise as we come out of here. At the moment, they've got to work together. Thorpe goes on the front, Genter. Then it is Mayland being followed by Knight, Farty. In that order, in black, it's Harry Hudson. At the very back, that is Ryan Williams. Sorry, so Ryan Williams just starting to squeeze through. So the 2 blue camo. We've got Thorpe with the disc, we've got Williams with the deep wheels on, you've got the Halo ambassador with the red stripe on his back, that is Tom Knight. You've got, of course, Craig Genther in here in the Downing Cycling Coach jersey. The red stripe going horizontally across on that What Bike jersey. So the vertical stripe, that is going to be Knight. The horizontal stripe, that is Varty. And the man in black is Hudson now. It is going to be, going to count now. They've got to make this stick. They can't afford to relax behind them. That gap will look to come down. They are on the last lap. It is one last lap to go. 1 lap to go. There we go. We can even have a proper bell. 1 lap to go. 1 more lap to go. There we go. Even got the bell out of the cupboards. There we go. So chasers are on the chase. They're on 1 lap to go as well. They've got to keep on pushing here. Now 23 seconds. They've got to start to believe the break is going. They're getting the support from the gang behind. This is group number 2 on the road at the moment. Group number 3 is going to be Samul and Co. They're on the climb, but that gap really has opened up. They're going to have to put the pressure on. Can they close them down? 23 seconds. Russ has got guys in the gap. He has. He's got teammates up there. Now here goes Williams. Williams is on the push across. He wants to make this across. Can he do it? This is going to take some doing. Has anybody taken the bait behind? They've not. So it looks like Lindley is starting to push, but at the moment The man trying to make the junction to get across. Right, he's closed down. He's already taken 7 seconds out. Can he make the gap across? He's got 6 on the group behind. He's got to keep on pushing, though. If he eases off, he's only at 3.2. I don't think he's brought in anyone with him. That means that he's going to be left dangling out there. He drops back down, and I think that is going to be Williams having burnt a whole load of matches. Now, here we go. The group down? I don't think so. Look at the power here. They're still kicking out 4, 5, 6, 7s coming from Hudson. They don't want catching on the run-in. They know exactly how far there is to go. Absolutely awesome riding here as they make their way in and through. We've got Josh Malin, we've got Thorpe, we've got Hudson, we've got a real who's who here. This is going to make all the difference. Hudson on the back at the moment. Mark Thorpe continues to push up on the right hand side, just eases back a little bit here with that disc wheel on. Ryan Williams moves over. Now Hudson goes on the front in the black, so you can see everybody looks to be doing a turn here. Tom Knight goes through. Then it's Hudson in the black. Thorpe goes through on the right-hand side, so it's Thorpe leading out at the moment. Now, Hudson just drops back a touch, and Hudson is pushing here. They've got to respond. They can't let those gaps go. They certainly get dangerous, man, to let that gap go at this stage. The group behind it at 17 seconds. 16 seconds now for the group behind. They're going over the fold in the map. That chasing group, though, they've got to get back up to our leaders. The leaders, though, in the park already, and that means that they have still got sufficient gap. I think they're 21 seconds. You see the beacon behind, it's always there. Our riders know where it is. Now, are we going to see finesse? Now, are we going to see this group caught as we go through the Cherry Tree Blossom? New fastest times on the way through again, and that shows that they're not messing about. The bunch is coming, though. There is some serious squeezing in that group behind, but at the moment it's Genther leading them up. Williams on the right hand side, but it's going to be Thorpe who takes them up to the top. So Mark Thorpe takes them up on to the top. We're riding in with Williams at the moment. Now it's Varty. He's got a feather. He's putting it in. It's the time to do it. It's the last climb before the finish line, so he's put that in. This is a real who's who. This is all those riders who have always been in with a chance to the win. Some have taken them. It's going to be a first for others. This is a real class act up at the front. All of these riders deserve to be in here, and they're definitely showing just why they've been at the front so many times on the chain gang. Maitland's in here, Knight's in here, Thorpe's in here, Hudson's on the front, Varty pushes from the back, Varty puts another dig in here. So it's taking him on to the front. They're starting to wind now. They're starting to get nervous. And they're not the only ones. Now Genther goes on to the top. It is a real fast run out to the line. This is going to be about who's got the pace, who's got the power, who can get there quickly. Now Craig Genther has gone. Genther's gone early. He's put the dig in. Mayland is behind him. Mayland's trying to close him down. This is going to be about who's got the legs, who's got the sprint. Mayland is pushing. We're in with Ryan Williams here. He's been one of the strongest, but they're coming in towards that line. And it looks to me like it's going to be Thorpe. Just gets it. Oh, so tight. I think that is going to be Mayland's win. I'm going to have to play that back. That is a photo finish as they came in and through. Williams was closing. That is going to come down to a replay of the YouTube coverage. What a ride by that group as they came in and through. That is amazing to see. We're just going to have to do a little bit of a cheeky jump back across here as we make our way through. Hope that we can get the cameras through fast enough. Looks like our second group in and through as well. This is why we have our overrun. So let's get to where our riders are out on the course here. The gang absolutely annihilated. That is going to be a real photo finish run back in and through. Hopefully everybody saw where they finished on that as they came in and through the line there. I think it was Chris, I agree with Chris Ball, it was Josh Mayland, I think, who took the win. I'm not going to guarantee that one, I have to say. I think it was Josh Mayland taking it. Thorpe and Williams were coming. It'll take some playback to get that. What an amazing finish. What a group, and every one of those 7 riders, chapeau. That was some ride. Now, It is going to be Dick Small and Mr. Fuller who are chasing behind at the moment. They're our next riders on the course. So Henry Fuller and Dick Small. Then 11 seconds back is going to be George Cooper being chased by Greg Pillsworth's group here. This has got some very fast riders in. Looks like Tracy Seeley tucked in with this group. So it looks to me like Fuller and Samul on the push out here. Samul got to close that gap down, and you've got to get the timing right. It's really tricky to get it nailed because you've got to come off here. I think Fuller has got the timing just right here. We're going to just try and jump in with him. Easier said than done at the moment on the circuit. So it is going to be Fuller's going to take 25th spot. I think it's then going to be Samul who goes in and through. In 26th, behind that chase is on. This is the group heading on the way into that line. We'll get up above them as they go in and through. Big sprint there by Forbes. He goes in through. Tracy Seeley comes through first of our female finishers, just coming in and through the line. So we're going to take a little bit of a run forwards up the course with a bit of luck, but I think this may well be our next group on the road. Just going to take a little bit of a check up. I think people further around the circuit may well be just making the way in, though. It's going to be this group next, I think. So Simon Runnett, I think, is just at the side of the course, and that means that it's going to be the Alistair Cootie group. Alistair from Chef Wreck just making the little bit of a gap as they're coming out. They've got to take this turn and come out the other side. He's got company though. Looks like Antonio Nadoni really pushing here in the blue. Now comes the slight right and then that big push to the left. Who's got any legs left? Bobby Mason is in the gang and riding well. Come on, Bobby, get on those wheels. This is the last squeeze. Making the way in to the line. Our second female rider, I think, is going to be Chloe Gagan, who's going to take that. The sprint is Ullet, going to be followed through very, very quickly indeed by that chasing group behind. So just riding in with Chris. Chris, I think it's going to be a lap down. So Chris still with a lap to go. Simon running with another dropout now, dead in the water at the side of the course. He's literally about a K off the finishing line. Absolutely gutting. Now in with Dr. D at the moment. Vin Donahoe in here with the disc in that Downing Cycling Coaching Works jersey. Dr. D in there. Charlie Babbitt, lone rider. It looks like Stefano is in here as well. The man from Nonnas. He's tucked in and he's going to wind this up early. He's just starting to squeeze on those pedals. You've got to go quick, you've got to go fast. And at the moment, Ved is one of those riders who we know has got a massive sprint on him. He's giving it some beans now. He's going to catch them napping. I think we'll let the camera follow its way in and through. But Borelli's got a kick on him now. He puts in the afterburners. Is he going to take it through? It's going to be Donahoe who's going to come through right at the front of this group. He goes through. Then it's Stefano Borelli. I think Hayward's going to come chasing them in to the line. Oh, he's going to stop just short if he just rolls in at that pace. So Hayward just creeps over the line. They're getting the timing right. Absolutely key. Now, let's have a little bit of a check. Simon is stuck on his side there. His internet having an absolute mare, which means that we've got Chris Ball, we've got Sonia Inslee, and we've got Monsieur Rhodes in there. So Rhodes tucked in the group. So Rhodes at the moment just off the back of that pack. Come on, mate, just squeeze on. We've got our red beacon just up the road. Sonia is in there as well. They're on the last half lap. Now, whilst they're making their way around this circuit, we've got a little bit of time. We're going to attempt to get hold of Russ. He may well have done a runner by now. That was something else that finished though, so let's see if we can get him, if he's got anything left to talk with. Looks like he has. So Russ, how are you doing?
Good, mate.
That was some finish. What a group.
It's good fun, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Really good.
I've got no voice left, but yeah.
Yeah, they just they played it well. You know, they just snuck off, and like I said, I know I had some men in there. I had a down in cycling jersey, a couple of guys from Halo. So you know, I had some cards to play. So I weren't chasing, and it was great fun. You know, for once, probably those digits on the side telling people what position they were in made it feel a bit more racy, which we said we'd never do, but it's good fun round there, isn't it?
I know, and we did say we'd never do it because at one stage the game was in danger of spiralling its way out of control with hundreds and hundreds of riders. But maybe with when the gang behaves, it works, and that showed today that if people play the game, then we're able to do a lot more with it, and that's definitely shown tonight. And gotta say, what a finish! I think it was Josh Mayland who took the win. That seems to be the general consensus of the messages that are coming in. I'm going to have to watch it again to get that absolutely spot on. But I think it was Mr. Mayland who just got it, fast closing Ryan Williams, who he knows fast. I mean, you were saying at the start, it's, a lot of returning riders, Ryan being one of them. But amazing to see just how close that got.
Yeah, Josh messaged me straight after the finish, and he reckons he was second or third, but he's just sent me an emoji now, so maybe he's still listening to YouTube, but that'd be good to see, wouldn't it? Get a little get Jimmy Allen on a gif of Mayland crossing the line. He loves a gif, doesn't he?
He does. I think it'd be interesting to see. I think it'll be a zoom in on the camera and on the replay, but the front was very exciting. It did mean that we had a lot of bodies spread out and really hard to come across. And I have to say, it does illustrate exactly why we have that roll on, because the moment people are over that line, we were out the game with the commentary, I have to admit. So apologies if I missed anybody going through the line. I didn't even see you go through, Russ, I must admit. But the riders all the way through have been supportive of each other. There were lots of groups working together, which is the whole point of the chain gang, and our Red Beacon doing an amazing job. Chris, Sonia, and Mr. Rhodes here at on the bus, working together on the run into the line.
Yeah, that's the best bit about the gang, is when people, they've done whatever, they've pulled the pin, and the Red Beacon gets people round, and they just they finish now, have they?
They are currently just going into the gardens, onto the climb in the gardens. So last descent up to the top of the
park,
paving slab climbs to the top of the park. So not very far out at all.
Yeah, to say we were tramming along at always over 40k an hour around there. The last 4 or 5 laps, I'd hate to see what we were going at, but it was proper crit pace around there.
It was scary quick, and those laps really came pinging back. So going to be good to see just where that is. I think that's definitely going to be my eat me tea watching it back and watching that finish again, just to see who actually made it as our riders came through. And of course, it'd be very appropriate if Josh is taking it, because next week is Halo week on the Donny Chain Gang as well. So it's going to be interesting to go in. They'll be absolutely pinging if they've got the momentum from a win as well. Yeah,
be a marked man next week, and it's like me, you can't win your own chain gang, and no one lets me happen anymore. And he can't win his own sponsored week, can he? So, sit at the back with me, mate, and we'll chat about tubeless and 80 mil deep sections.
Do you know what? I'm sure he comes for the chain gang, so he didn't have to do that.
So I've just unlocked level 50, which I don't know what that means.
Congratulations.
Means it's game over. I can retire, I think.
I think it means that you probably have got your timing right on the basis that the little one's just arrived, mate. That's probably what it means. It's that straightforward. So, listen, Russ, we'll let you go. Thanks for hanging on until we can actually get back to you on the for a chat, and no doubt we'll catch up at some point, you and me, and of course we'll see you on the Chain Gang next week.
See you later, mate. Have a good weekend, and great gang, everyone. Well done, Chris. Nearly there, mate. Roll it over the top. We got Sonia with you. Great group. Chapeau.
So the gang are rolling the way through. Mr. Rhodes certainly Scottish. Not got far to go, mate. You are on that final run in to the line. Through they go. And Sonia Inslee, Mr. Rhodes and Mr. Ball, all done and dusted, which means all our riders are home and done, which I can grab some of this stuff because there's not a lot of voice left. We've got a busy commentary weekend. If you are out and about, don't forget, make sure that you keep yourselves safe. If you see anybody from the gang, say hi to them. If you have got the opportunity to join the Donny Chain Gang Sports Club, the DCG gang, it's the last month of the spring season, £25 donation to help us keep the show rolling, to help make everything work online, as well as keep the wheels turning underneath Russ. We are back next week. So in the meantime, give us a follow. It's Matt Fix the Paint on Zwift, Facebook, and on Strava. You never know, you might get a heads up of where we're going next. If you want to catch up with me, then you need to ping onto the Facebook page to see where I'm heading, including hopefully get out the road bike at the weekend and get some nice flat miles in with the Women's Yellow Beacon with Emma. So from everybody on the Chain Gang this week, we will catch you next week for Halo Week. We'll see you soon.